these are wonderful presentations, and I'm getting a lot of really great inspiration here. And you just talked about private sector entrepreneurs doing good. Well, I'm a private sector consultant, also trying to do good as well. And currently I am a design thinking specialist, but more importantly, I am the City of Saskatoon's lead for our Smart Cities Challenge. And so a lot of these organizations today have talked about sort of things that they have done to prove that they're doing, like civic tech is impactful, that it is valuable. And I'm going to approach this differently because we're coming at this challenge with, we hope this works. This is our work plan and this is what we plan to do. But certainly we're very focused on how impactful we are going to be to our community. So I don't know if you're very familiar with the Canadian Government Smart Cities Challenge, but here is a quick summary of what it is. But particularly I really want to zone in on the end part, which is improving the lives of residents through innovation, data, and connected technology. So when we developed our challenge statement, the communities had to form a challenge statement. When we developed a challenge statement, we went to the citizens, we went to stakeholders, we made sure it was a very open forum for people to be able to provide feedback into what our challenge statement should be, keeping in mind that the solution had to be very much based in innovation, data, and connected technology. So you would think something like infrastructure would be an easy problem to be able to solve, and there's lots of different ways that can be affected. But what our citizens told us was that this should be our challenge statement, which is to be a city that breaks the cycle of Indigenous youth incarceration by creating a new cycle focused on building purpose, belonging, security, and identity. So certainly that's a really big mouthful, and we are taking a very social and sensitive issue and applying a data and technology solution to it. So there's a number of things that we have to address in order to make sure that we're going to be impactful. So what I'm going to talk about today is specifically the work plan we plan on taking on in the next 7 to 8 months to come to this conclusion. For us, and the core team that's working towards this, the innovation is in the process, and the process really begins with engagement and focus. I've heard a lot of co-designing and user experience research. At the center of our project, at the center of our challenge is the youth. We have to make sure that the youth that are at risk, the youth that are on that path from child to criminal, are the ones that are focused on the ones' voices that are heard the most. So I'm going to go through all 6 steps very quickly because I did not follow the format and I put 16 slides in 5 minutes. So we'll start with this. Our step 1 is to create a youth advisory committee to help us create a solid foundation based on lived experience feedback. So we've gone specifically to frontline organizations and asked them to identify individuals, and we've also randomly selected individuals as well to be the core youth advisory group to tell us exactly what are some unarticulated needs that you have seen come up. What are some things you want access to? What is the problem? You tell us, rather than us assuming a predetermined set of solutions or predetermined set of complications or problems. We want to hear it from them first. And so going into our second step, it's about the collaboration and advisement from subject matter experts. When we talk about that, what we want to do is our second step is to take the information from the at-risk youth and from the youth advisory group and to bring in frontline organizations and retired police officers and retired social workers and retired judges to come in and start offering us feedback about this was what happened in the system, and had we had this technology tool to help us build, maybe that would have eliminated overlooking some of these gaps that are in this system. Then this is kind of my most embarrassing sign because it's called build a tech tool. It's absolutely not a brain buster terminology, but we left it really vague because a big part of this user experience, this human-centered design thinking approach, is to not assume a solution. And so the only assumption in this solution that it has to be based in data and technology. So building the tech tool, we purposely left that wide open so that nobody starts coming up with an idea, because the solutions need to start from the feedback when we engage with the youth. Next is to test this out with the incarcerated youth. And luckily, we have institutional partners that have allowed us access to those that are already incarcerated and are going through the system right now to see, sure, we may have built a really great web platform or mobile app platform, but do they even have access to a smartphone? Did we miss the entire purpose in the first place? And if we did, we want to find that out. We're happy about finding that out. So moving back into step 5 is when we bring in institutional partners, our advisory committee, our subject matter experts, and also hold demo sessions with the public so they can come and give feedback as well. And then we rebuild the tool based on the feedback, so that the process, again, is 100% focused on the end user and what's going to impact them the most. And this is the cycle that we plan to use and repeat at least 3 times, hopefully 5 times, because we want to fail. We want to fail fast, we want to fail quick, and we want to be able to identify those problems that exist to them and continue to build towards them. Keeping in mind there's lots of different ways that that tech tool can be valuable, including in gathering the data and being able to allocate it to its proper resources. And so the goal again is to be a smarter city and to be impactful to our community. And we're very excited, extremely nervous, and very scared, but also really excited about taking on such a big challenge in order to be impactful to our community.